This episode of the Android Apps Weekly Show is brought to you by ES File Explorer Pro. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Joe Handy, the Android Authority App Guy, and welcome back to Android Apps Weekly. This is episode number 120. Let's get started. As you have no doubt heard by now, Star Wars The Force Awakens has had fairly stellar reviews so far, and the fan hype has been unbelievable. To celebrate, the Google Play Store is currently offering the movie for pre-order on Google Play, as well as the soundtrack, which you can get right now. Sure, it's kind of silly to pre-order digital goods that never run out of stock, but hey, it's there if you want it. This last week, rumors began to surface that Google Hangouts was going to lose SMS integration. This is, of course, bad news for people that use both that and Hangouts, and it's been reported that Google will begin promoting their SMS application instead. Google Voice users will still be able to text though, and the application itself will gain other new features. In a bizarre ruling, court officials in Brazil levied a 48-hour ban on WhatsApp when they refused to hand over user information for a criminal drug trafficking investigation. The ban has since been lifted because it was ruled unconstitutional that millions of Brazilians get cut off from their messaging services over something like that. Facebook has announced that they're shutting down their photo syncing service on January 10th, 2016. From that moment on, users can download a zip file containing all of their photos, or they can get the Facebook Moments application, which will continue the photo syncing goodness. I guess they want Moments to be a competitor to Google Photos, and we'll see how that goes. To celebrate the holiday season, there is currently a game sale going on in the Google Play Store. There are more than 35 games on sale, including most Square Enix games, Prune, a couple of Lego games, XCOM Enemy Within, and plenty more. Check out the list and grab up some awesome games on the cheap. For even more Android apps and games news, updates, and releases, don't forget to check out this week's newsletter, which is linked in the video description below. We had a ton of stuff this week that we didn't have time for here, and we encourage you to check it out. If you want, you can go to the written companion, which is also in the video description below, and subscribe to the newsletter to get it sent to your email address every single week. Alright folks, let's take a look at the apps and games that made a big splash this week. As usual, if you want to check any of these apps or games out, we'll have those links for you in the video description below. Pic Pell is a new application that is kind of like Snapchat. You and your friends take pictures of things, and those pictures are used to create collages that are then posted. This process can be repeated whenever the mood strikes. It's a fun concept, and the app uses material design which looks good. Unfortunately, the application only allows Facebook login, and it's a little rough around the edges, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on. This last week, Google announced over a dozen new designer watch faces that aim to give Android Wear users a little more class to their smartwatches. Some of the designers include Ted Baker, Vivian Tam, Adidas, and plenty of others. Every watch face is entirely free, and they all have their own unique looks and features. They're definitely worth checking out, especially if you're getting a bit bored with your watch face. Scribblenauts Remix was one of the most popular paid games on Android in its heyday, and Scribblenauts Unlimited aims to continue that proud tradition. It uses a lot of the same mechanics from the prior game, such as allowing users to type words out and have those things actually appear. At its core, it's a creative puzzle game where you must create things to solve puzzles. It's a lot of fun and contains a ton of content. Microsoft Apps is an application by Microsoft that shows you other Microsoft apps. This may seem a bit silly given that you can simply search for these applications, but not everyone is as tech savvy as some of us, which means there is a legitimate use for an application like this, especially with Microsoft's unusually large app collection. It's simple to use and adheres to most of the material design standards. It's also totally free. Zeptolab has released the latest version of Cut the Rope just in time for Christmas. Much like its predecessors, it's totally free with no in-app purchases, and again revolves around helping these small, adorable little monsters solve puzzles. It borrows a lot of its mechanics and premise from prior titles in the series, but it does include new elements such as transformations, boss levels, and over 100 levels. Thanks again for watching, everybody, but let's get down to some serious business. This week's Android Apps Weekly show is sponsored by ES File Explorer Pro. This is one of Android's oldest and most stable file managing applications, and includes a ton of features, including pretty much any file management feature that you could ask for, along with cloud storage management, app management, remote file management, archive management, and tons of other types of managements. It's also wrapped up in material design. Recently, the developers also released ES File Explorer Pro, which is exactly the same as ES File Explorer in every way, except you'll have expanded theming options, no advertising, and a promise from the developers to keep being awesome. I bought this the day it came out, long before they ever became a sponsor, because I actually do like this application that much. Give the Pro version a go for yourself and show your support for the Android Apps Weekly show. Alright folks, that about does it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to check out the awesome videos we have linked up for you right over there and in the video description below for you folks on mobile. Finally, don't forget to check out the written companion, which is is in the video description below, and don't forget to sign up for that newsletter. As always, thanks for watching everybody, and have a wonderful day.